Hey, howdy, hey, everyone. It's your two
Yo, what's
favorite.
up?
It's your two favorite boys,
Mm-hmm.
Fever
Two
Boy
favorite lovers.
and Tommy. Don't feel too hot right now.
No, I got a little bit of a fever, which ain't too great. But on the bright side, my flu test came back negative.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
So, gee, I wonder what other disease is going around that it could be.
yeah. No, I'm worried about that too. But I can't think of any. Um,
uh, yeah, kind of an action-packed episode this week. There was a shit ton of news regarding Disney and Marvel and Star Wars from the Disney uh fucking shareholder whatever it was event. I
mhm.
don't know. I hate the name. It sounds so like greedy, like the shareholder event. It's like makes everything they're announcing sound like a product from a well-oiled machine. Uh
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, but at the same time, like you could be a fan and still be a shareholder. So I
yeah, I
mean,
know,
it's
but
not
like you
like
had
it
DC
sounds worse than it
Fandom,
is.
which was at least like it's for
It
the
was the same, yeah.
fans. But
Yeah,
this
they
is
really.
like
I feel like it would have been much smarter if they just said like fan event. I don't know.
yeah. So yeah, we're not gonna mention everything because if we would, it would be here all day. But we're just gonna pretty much Star Wars stuff, the Marvel stuff, and a couple of the other Disney and Pixar things that they announced. Uh, so I guess we'll just roll right into it. In terms of like Disney news, that's kind of relevant to talk about. There's a Beauty and the Beast prequel, live action
Yo,
prequel coming out, starring Gaston and LeFou, with Luke
cool.
Evans and Josh Gad coming back. Uh,
I've not seen Beauty and the Beast in a minute.
yeah, it's the
And
live
as a
action.
minute, when I say a minute,
So
I mean like probably 15 years.
yeah, I watched the animated one for the first time pretty recently, but
Hmm.
yeah, I don't care about this, but great, more live action stuff.
Yeah,
Percy Jackson and the Olympians, that's getting a TV show, which I think
cool.
is pretty cool.
I mean, that is cool because I remember reading the books and really liking them,
And the
but I
movies
just
were
hope it's
terrible.
good. Yeah, I don't know
Yeah,
if I have faith in Disney to make it like really good. I think it'll be okay, but I don't know if it'll be really good.
yeah, but I think the author of the books is really heavily involved though.
Oh, that's
Like
sick. Who?
it's like
What's
a
his name? Like Rick something?
Rick Riordan.
Rick? Yeah, Rick Riordan. Something.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, he's really involved with it, and he was like, "This is not going to be the movies. Like, I'm going to try and make this as close to the source material as I can," which is cool because I think they have the opportunity to make like a Harry Potter level thing out of Percy Jackson, and they just totally blew it the first time.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Diary
But
of a
who
Wimpy
knows?
Kid. Oh, go ahead.
They. What about Diary of a Wimpy Kid?
Animated movie.
Oh
Getting a
yeah,
new movie, but it's animated this time, which I like because
that's interesting. Is it just
it
going to
feels
be
like a
like stick figures?
yeah. It looks like it's in color though, not black and white. So,
Okay.
and on that same note, Night at the Museum animated movie.
Huh.
So I kind of like that transitioning these live action franchises into to animation, especially for Diary of a Wimpy Kid. I feel like that works really well. And if they bring back like some of the original actors just as voices, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't necessarily know how they're going to do it, given that it's going to be stick figures. But I mean, that's bold.
I
I
mean, we had
definitely
the
think
Peanuts movie and stuff though, and they're just like pretty much stick
that's
figures.
true. Mhm.
But if
But there
they
hasn't
play it
been like a
like
stick figure movie in a while, right?
no, that's why I think it has the opportunity to be cool, or it has the opportunity to be like Emoji Movie. So we'll see. But I
Yeah.
kind of have high hopes because they released a still from it, and I quite like that.
Oh, cool.
Uh, Zootopia, Princess and the Frog, and Moana and Big Hero 6 are all getting spin off series.
Huh.
Good if you like those, but I don't care for really any of them.
They're all getting like series like TV shows.
So it's Baymax from Big Hero 6 is getting a spin off show. Zootopia is getting like a series of little stories set within the universe. And then Tiana and Moana are getting their own spin off shows. So,
Interesting.
also, whatever. Don't care that much. Two new Disney animated movies were announced Iwaju and Encanto.
Okay,
Don't know much about them except one is an African cultural story and one is a Colombian, I believe.
that's pretty cool.
Also good, cool.
Yeah, good that they're
Uh,
doing that.
yeah, and then Raya and the Last Dragon, which is the next Disney animated movie to come out, is going to be going straight to Disney Plus with premiere access like Mulan in March. So
Hmm.
looks like they're testing the waters more for doing this down the line. I'm really shocked that they're not doing it with Black Widow, but nah.
Yeah,
Pixar
still no, no.
news.
Did they announce anything about Black Widow?
Nope, just that it's coming out May 6th.
Okay, cool.
Pixar stuff. Doug from Up getting a short series. TV show based around cars. A TV show original idea called Win or Lose. And a movie called Turning Red about a girl who can turn into a big red panda. And
Nice.
what was interesting about the Pixar stuff was Buzz Lightyear spin-off movie was announced, but it's not the toy Buzz Lightyear. It's about the actual like fictional hero that inspired the toy. So it's like it's going to be like the story that exists within the universe of Toy Story
Is it going to
about
be
Buzz
voiced by
Lightyear.
Tim Allen?
No, it's Chris
Okay,
Evans.
I had a feeling it would.
So interesting, could be bad, but kind of cool that they're doing something new.
Mhm.
Uh, and by new, I mean going back to something old, but with a new kind of
New
twist. Because
twist.
I like them. I
Yeah.
like seeing like the full works of fiction that people watch in you know fictional media or whatever. Like when
Yeah,
a
definitely.
cartoon has a fake show in it. Sometimes there are like full episodes of it.
Hmm.
And then Star Wars stuff. Uh, we got. I knew this was coming, but as a Ahsoka Tano spin-off show off the Mandalorian. I think we all
Oh,
knew that
really?
was coming.
Yeah.
Um, and Star Wars Rangers of the New Republic, which is also going to be a spin-off of The Mandalorian. And they kind of said that those three shows are going to be kind of interconnected
Okay.
for the most part. Like those three are
That's
kind
pretty
of a
ambitious.
self-contained story. Yeah, I
Hmm.
mean, I'm not the biggest Mandalorian guy. I enjoy it a lot,
I mean,
but
we do review it every week, but
um, yeah, people love that show, so this is definitely good for
it is
them.
the 27th best show of all time.
Cassian Andor, a spin-off show from the guy for Rogue One, that got a little trailer, not so much a trailer, but like kind of like what they did with the Suicide Squad, like a behind the scenes look at everything.
Hmm.
Looks good. I liked it.
Yeah.
Looked really ambitious, so that's cool. Not much to say there. Big news is actually first, uh, the Bad Batch, which is a spinoff of the Clone Wars, was announced about a bad group of clones that
Okay.
go and they muck about and cause trouble in the galaxy. They're
The
real
Misfits.
they're real little weasels, those guys.
Yeah, they're really grinding my gears.
Star Wars Visions, which is a series of short films in anime style, uh,
Okay.
about like celebrating the Star Wars universe or something. The Acolyte, an original series set in an era of Star Wars we haven't seen yet, right at the end of the High Republic, which I think is before the prequel times. So cool. I like this is like it's supposed to be like a big mystery kind of thriller series. And I like that it's set in a time we know nothing about because that gives them a lot of freedom to do cool shit. So that's probably the one I'm anticipating the most just because they have so much freedom. Lando, TV show, Disney Plus
Is it with
series.
Donald Glover?
We don't know. They didn't
Okay.
say if it was Donald Glover, but I'm gonna go ahead and hazard a guess that it's probably with Donald Glover.
That's cool.
But as I was thinking about it, like they could do this with Billy D. Williams. He's not
He's not that old.
he's not that old, and I'm sure if they gave him enough money, he would definitely do it. Which
Mhm.
I think that would be honestly a little bit more cool to have Billy D do it because he's like we haven't really seen
It
like a
would be
big
cool if they did. It'd be cool if they did both. Like had one episode where it was him,
Oh,
and
like
then one episode where
flashbacks.
it's, yeah, flashbacks.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
It'd be
I
hard to
would like
do,
that.
but it'd be really cool if they did it.
Yeah, I agree. A Droid Story, which is a R2D2 and C3PO like kind of short film or series of short films. It was a little unclear when I was watching, but fine, sure, whatever. I don't care. Uh, um, and the big thing was kind of the Obi-Wan show.
So
Obi-Wan
Ewan,
Kenobi.
Ewan McGregor.
Yep, Ewan McGregor and that Hayden Christensen is coming back to play Darth Vader
Oh yeah, yeah,
and not
yeah, yeah. I
Anakin,
remember this.
which find interesting because I think we'll definitely get some like flashbacks of them in like the Clone Wars and stuff, which I think would be cool.
Yeah. But also, Ewan McGregor is going to be. Well, I guess it makes sense because he's a bit older than what they were in.
Yeah, but he's still like not anywhere near the age of Alec Guinness in the
Yeah,
original
it's
Star
still
Wars.
really weird.
That's the
But
biggest like hole in Star Wars for me is that Obi-Wan ages so badly. But they could put like
yeah,
some prosthetic makeup on him to make him look a little older.
yeah, he goes what from like 30 something to like
To like literally
70.
75
It like
in
was it
19
like
years.
19 years.
Exactly 19 because Luke is 19 at the start of A
Mm.
New Hope. Uh, but yeah, I think this could be cool. They said we're gonna get a rematch between Obi-Wan and Anakin, which might clear up like a little continuity error in A New Hope because like Vader says something like, "When I left you, I was the learner, but now I'm the master." But like he never left Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan just cut him in half. Um, that's me drinking water. You can hear. Can you hear that,
What are you
Tommy? Or
drinking?
am I gonna sound crazy?
No, I didn't hear anything.
Oh, well, my dog's drinking water.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I think that's cool. I like they're bringing that back. I think that's definitely the one with the most demand behind it to see more Obi-Wan and Anakin.
Yeah, I'll probably watch that one. But in all honesty, I really like
Too much
don't
Star
give a
Wars.
shit about the rest of the stuff.
Yeah,
Um,
it's a little
it's
much.
just it's a bit oversaturation, and it's like I think it'd be cool for that series and like maybe some stuff for like some lore, like to give some background
Mm-hmm.
into the whole Star Wars universe. Like that'll be pretty fun. But I don't really see the point to have a droid
Wasn't it the
story.
Acolyte?
What's the Acolyte again? That's the
It's the original series set in the High Republic.
yeah. I don't know. I
You
just feel
literally
like
just
it's
said, "I want something to flesh out the universe," and I said, "How about this thing that's fleshing out the universe?" And you
oh
said,
yeah, yeah.
"Eh."
You know what? You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. But some of the other stuff is I don't know. It feels like
Yeah, I agree.
not unnecessary, but
I mean, I'll watch it all probably because I like Star Wars, but I'm not like jumping out of my seat for most of it.
mhm.
But then we got some movie news too, which is that Taika Waititi is doing a Star Wars movie.
Oh, the
That's
Ragnarok
all they
guy.
said. What?
Ragnarok guy.
Yeah, Ragnarok.
I said that really weirdly.
Um, and then Patty Jenkins, director of Wonder Woman and Wonder Woman 1984, is doing Rogue Squadron, which is going to be releasing in Christmas of 2023, which I'm actually really excited for because I really like Patty Jenkins, and I don't know, it seems like an interesting concept. She said it's going to be like a fighter pilot movie. Um, and she said she wanted to make the best one ever made, which is a bold claim to make, but it's exciting.
Hey, go for
Yeah, I like that it's not like, I mean, it is going to be like Rebellion versus Empire, but it's not like, it's just like a movie about the soldiers. Like, it's not like some huge thing. That's cool. Uh, Marvel news. There was a lot, which is kind of goes back. I felt more of the oversaturation with this than I did with uh Star Wars, even though I'm a big Marvel guy. So
it.
we got a Falcon and the Winter Soldier trailer. Good. Did you watch it?
That's been in the works for a while, right?
Yeah. Did you watch that trailer?
I did not see the trailer.
Sent it all to you.
I'd be
Uh, looks good to me. Loki trailer. Did you watch that one? Let me guess.
I did not see the trailers.
Bro, I sent you all of them for this reason.
Yeah, my bad.
You literally said cool. And I said you should watch these
I was
trailers.
gonna watch them, and I just forgot.
Seems to be a trend. Well, we got a What If trailer. That one I wasn't super big on. The Loki trailer was interesting, but I'm just not that excited in seeing a spinoff about Loki because he's not my favorite. And I think Marvel really overestimates how much people like that character.
Yeah, he's cool, but I don't know if he's enough to carry his own series.
I mean, maybe. I could be wrong, but we'll see. We got a Miss Marvel TV show, like sizzle reel showing some of the filming because that's happening right now. Which looks good. Looks like a Miss Marvel show should look, um, which is cool. And I like the girl they cast as Miss Marvel. Seems like cool. She's the one with the letterboxd account who rated Captain Marvel 2 stars.
Yeah.
And on that note, she is also that character. Miss Marvel is going to be in Captain Marvel 2, which I definitely like because that's she's her whole character is like she's a huge fan of Captain Marvel. It's gonna be cool to kind of see that like fanboy or fangirl thing going on, and could be fun,
Yeah, but in
especially because
reality,
they
she
share a
doesn't really
name.
like Captain Marvel.
Oh, like the actual. I don't know if
Yeah,
she doesn't
the
like the
actual.
character, but she doesn't like the movie at least.
Yeah.
Um, so that stuff's good. The She-Hulk series is happening. It's going to be bringing back Mark Ruffalo as the Hulk in it, and Tim Roth, who played the villain in the Incredible Hulk movie, which
Who's
I
is there a woman Hulk now?
yeah, She-Hulk.
Who is the She Hulk?
It's so the comic backstory is she's Bruce Banner's cousin named Jennifer Walters, I think, and um, she basically is like dying of some disease or accident or whatever, and she needs a blood transfusion, but the only match for her is her cousin Bruce. So he has to give her his Hulk blood, and that makes her into this kind of. She's like permanently Hulk form though. Like she's like intelligent, and she's not like she's not like a split personality kind of deal. Like she's just always She Hulk. And
He's always angry.
well, no, it's just her condition is like different, and she's just always big and green and strong.
So is she always like the end game version of?
Yeah, pretty
Uh,
much.
okay,
Like she
cool.
has her original brain in her Hulk body, basically.
That's sick.
And I think there are some times where she can transform between the two, but for the most part, she's always in her big green form. And she's a lawyer, so they
Does
said
she
we're
like
gonna.
present cases as She Hulk?
Mm-hmm. So I think we're
Okay.
gonna get some like kind of court case stuff in the show. Um,
All right.
and she's also, I think, one of the only other Marvel comic book characters. I don't know if they'll do this in the show, but she's one of the only comic book Marvel characters that knows she's like a comic book character, like kind of like Deadpool, like breaks the fourth wall and
Mm-hmm.
stuff.
Yeah.
Um, so I don't know if they'll do that in the show, but she's like, she's known for that in the comic book. So it'd be kind of fun if she's like, I'm most excited for that show because like the Marvel Cinematic Universe tends to ignore the Incredible Hulk movie altogether, but now it seems like they're actually kind of bringing some stuff from that back, and that's cool. Even though it's like that stuff is shitty, like I like that they're acknowledging it.
Mm.
Secret Invasion was announced, a TV show with Nick Fury about the Skrulls, and they're like infiltrating different levels of government and yada yada. They can pose as anybody. No one knows who's who. It's chaos. Dogs and cats are living together. Uh, this one I'm not that
Who would have
excited
thought?
for. What?
I said, who would have thought dogs and cats would be living together?
Oh, no one. That's the point, Tommy. But
Yeah.
I'm not super excited about this one, only because like it seems weird to do this in a show and set it around Nick Fury rather than having this be like the plot of the next Avengers movie. Because it's a big like comic book event, like Civil War style, big.
Here's a
So
question: when do you think they'll do another Avengers like movie, or do you think they'll ever do another Avengers movie?
I don't know, because I think they may retire the Avengers name, or it'll probably be after all this shit comes out.
Yeah,
Because like if they wait a whole couple years and then they drop like Avengers 5, then everyone's gonna go nuts. Um, Ironheart TV show about there's a character named Riri Williams who is basically the next Iron Man. She's like a super smart girl,
cool.
builds her own Iron Man suit, shenanigans ensue. Armor Wars, which I'm actually really excited for, is about it's a War Machine spin-off show with Don Cheadle in the role, and he is basically the plot is about like other countries in the world are catching up to America, or not America, but catching up to Tony Stark and making their own Iron Man suits. So it's kind of about War Machine dealing with that. So we're gonna see like some different countries' versions of Iron Man, and I think that could be really cool because that it could kind of go back to the really old days of the MCU where it was like Iron Man felt like this big weapon that was privatized and stuff, and it felt like there was a lot of like real conflict in there that was like not. I mean, it was far off because no one can actually build an Iron Man suit, but it was like still felt like what would actually happen if those things existed. So I like that this is kind of a return to that kind of level of storytelling from the first couple Iron Man movies.
Yeah, that was. I think that was a big part of the second one.
Mm-hmm. And it's a chance to do that in a way that's better.
Yeah, not
uh,
good in the first one.
Something I'm really excited for: James Gunn returning to direct Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special that's going to be on Disney Plus.
Is that a TV show or just a
It's just
single?
a 30 to 40 minute like holiday special,
Okay.
about as long as your trailer round. But they're filming that while they film Guardians of the Galaxy 3, I guess to get them done in one shot, which I quite like. Think that could be a fun little thing to have. And
They
everyone
haven't
knows
begun
I
filming Guardians of the Galaxy 3, right?
nope. It's supposed to come out
Bro.
in 2023.
Oh, okay.
So should be soon though. He said as soon as he's done with the Peacemaker TV series that he's making, he'll be moving on to Guardians of the Galaxy 3 and this.
Nice.
Uh, and on that note, we're getting a Groot show. It's about baby Groot
Oh my god.
called I Am Groot.
Yeah.
Don't really care, but again, whatever.
They're
I
really
think
trying
it's
to milk this baby thing.
baby Groot. Yeah, probably. I don't know if James Gunn is even involved with that one. Because I haven't seen him say anything about it. But and then, Tom, you're gonna fucking come when you hear this news. Ant-Man 3,
What?
Quantumania.
No way.
Yeah, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. It's gonna
The
be about
second
time
one was so
travel.
good. I can't believe they're getting another one.
Did you just shit, fart, and come?
And bled a little bit.
Yeah, third Ant-Man movie. Everyone's waiting on it. Fucking
Yeah,
woohoo.
eagerly waiting.
Uh, so yeah, that's I don't care, but everyone needs a trilogy, I guess. Can't really leave it at two. But King the Conqueror is going to be the villain. He's like a time traveling Avengers villain, so could be the next kind of big villain of the MCU. Maybe, maybe not. I don't fucking know. But he's going to be in this movie.
Cool.
And Fantastic Four was the big announcement. Making a new
New
Fantastic
movie?
Four movie. Yep.
Okay.
The director, all they showed was a logo and the director, who's going to be John Watts, who does Spider-Man: Homecoming and Spider-Man: Far From Home.
Hmm.
So good if you like those movies. I mean, I like Homecoming a lot more than Far From Home, but
Yeah, Far From Home is not great. It's not bad, but it's not great.
yeah. But if he does more like Homecoming and less like Far From Home, that could be a really good thing. I think Fantastic Four is it's interesting because I love the Fantastic Four like comic book wise, but they have not had a single good adaptation into like anything. So hopefully this is the first, but we'll see. Probably gonna get John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic since that's been everyone fan casts him as Mr. Fantastic.
That'd be really funny if he is, and they make like an Office reference.
He looks right at the camera.
Yeah, he looks at the camera. He puts something in Jello. Wait, what's
uh,
Mr. Fantastic's power? Is he stretchy?
yeah, he's stretchy.
Okay. Who are the other
Or
ones? There's the Thing.
the Thing, he's a big rock monster, permanently
Yeah.
stuck in thing form.
There's the Flame guy. Oh,
Human
there's the
Torch,
Invisible Woman.
Invisible Woman. Yep, those two are brother and sister. And Invisible Woman can make force fields. And yeah, she marries
Kind of like
Reed Richards.
Violet.
Fantastic Four is almost entirely the same as Incredibles, except kind of switch except for Dash. Dash and the Human Torch don't line up, but the rest of them all do. But I definitely very, very interested to see a new Fantastic Four or anything. And if it's Marvel Studios doing it, I have faith that it's at least going to be decent, because no Marvel movie is really like abysmally bad.
There's a few
Like,
not great ones. Well,
yeah,
pretty
but
not good ones.
what's one that's like bad, like straight bad?
Um, Putting me on the spot here, but I know there definitely are a few.
Like an MCU
Um,
movie, I'm saying.
Let me check the box real quick. We'll look at my lowest rated films, and we'll see.
Incredible Hulk, maybe?
I know the Thor movies aren't too great.
Yeah, but they're not like terrible. Like, I
Okay,
mean, like,
let's see.
none of them are on the level of like Amazing Spider-Man 2 or like X-Men Origins or anything.
Okay, you know what? Maybe you're right. My lowest is Iron Man 2, and that's only 2 stars. But I also haven't seen all the Marvel movies in a while. I really didn't like Iron Man 3, but I haven't watched that.
Yeah, Iron Man 3 is also just okay to me, but anyway, that's pretty much all. I'm excited for some of this and really not excited for some of this. So we'll see. Oh, also the Hawkeye show filming. Haley Steinfeld is Kate
Jerry
Bishop.
Seinfeld is in it.
Haley.
Jerry Seinfeld. What's the deal? That'd be great.
What are you giving me, a bow and arrow? How am I supposed to kill anything with this? Have you seen that TikTok? Like, this is my impression of Jerry Seinfeld when he ordered water, but the waiter gives him cum instead. He's like, I don't even like cum. I don't like it.
Gives me calm. I like calm.
Yeah, Mandalorian.
Mm-hmm.
Not much to say this week.
So what's his name? Bill Burr.
Yeah,
That's the guy.
mm-hmm.
He was in it again, and it felt a little weird just because I remember there was this. So yeah, Bill Burr's in this episode, and it felt weird just because I don't know, like a couple weeks ago, somebody had Bill Burr on to just like check him out, and when I came in, he was in the middle of a great routine where he was making a bunch of transphobic jokes, and none of them were all that funny. They were all pretty bad, and everybody in the audience of like this series were just like cackling, and I was like, oh man, this is not
Like
it.
he's very like liberal, which is odd.
Yeah, I don't know, he's a bit of a weirdo. But then he was in this episode, and I'm like, okay.
Well, the girl who plays Cara Dune is like super transphobic in real life, so.
Oh really?
Yep. Like
That's
very
nice.
much. But Pedro Pascal is a king,
Well,
so.
Who's Pedro Pascal again?
The Mandalorian.
Oh, that's the guy. That's literally the guy. Okay.
Yeah, so what I did like about this episode was actually gave him some character, like some depth. Like we actually saw him develop a lot when he took the helmet off and everything. Because like, the whole time the helmet has been like the thing that's like really different about him, and like really shows how like kind of isolated he is from everyone else.
Let me ask you something. Did you feel like the helmet was gonna come off in like the early parts of the episode?
Oh yeah, it was like I was like they're talking about the helmet way more right now than they ever have been.
Yeah, they were doing that, and I'm like, I feel like we're gonna see his face this episode.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, so I did like that, and kind of he basically sends a big message at the end that's like, "Fuck you, I'm coming to get Grogu," like batten down the hatches. Um, Also,
Oh yeah,
did
man,
Boba Fett's suit look weird to you?
it didn't look normal, but I
It
mean, I
looked
don't know. I didn't
odd.
really think of it too much.
It looked very plasticky to me, like
You
very
think?
new. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Anyway.
Um, there's the season finale next episode, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That'll be fun.
This
Um,
episode was I mean, even though I liked everything that was going on with Mando himself and like his kind of journey that he was going through, it wasn't like definitely was not my favorite. It was just like there was definitely some
it was
cool
very
action
average.
pieces. Yeah.
It was very average. I really think this is probably a skippable episode. I don't really see any point in watching this. Like what really happened? I don't really know.
Well, I think Mando taking his helmet off is a pretty big deal.
Yeah, but like to the story, I would
That's
just
a
say if you
big
want to see
deal
his
to the
face, then
story,
watch this
Tommy.
episode.
The show's about
Maybe,
him. Not maybe.
but no, I don't know. I'd say if you want to see this episode because you want to see his face, then go ahead.
But you see
But
his
like
face
that's
last
literally,
season.
I know that's why I didn't really think it was that important.
Yeah, but this is the first time he's taking his helmet off. He's breaking his own code to save Grogu.
I'm gonna respectfully disagree. I really didn't care that much that he took his helmet off, and I didn't really
But
think it was
that's
that
you, and you don't
essential.
even like Star Wars. I'm
But
talking
that
about for.
those do not correlate
How do they not correlate?
because I didn't see what the
You just
purpose
said
of
you
taking his
don't
helmet off.
care if he takes his helmet off.
Though there was like no purpose. I mean, I guess there technically was a purpose, but like it could have the episode could have like went on without taking his helmet off.
But that you're
They
talking
could
about
have
the
found
plot. I'm
another
talking
way.
about his character. The
I
plot
don't
could
know.
have gone forward without him taking his helmet off, yes, but his character development wouldn't have gone forward.
I'm gonna disagree. I really
You
didn't think
can't
that it mattered at
disagree.
all. I am disagreeing. I didn't really care. I didn't think it was that
You're
important.
talking about you. I'm talking about him. I'm talking about this is
I
a
don't
big deal
know.
for him, not for you.
Okay, but like, why does it matter?
Oh my lord.
I don't know.
Imagine like
I would say
imagine like
that
a
this.
devout Catholic person was like in a TV
Oh my
show and they were
god.
like, I'm not gonna kill anyone ever, because that's against the Bible. And then to save like someone that they keep, saying they're not attached to, they kill someone. It's a big deal, is it not?
Yeah. Okay, you make a good point. Um, I just feel like it wasn't all that necessary. Like it felt like they were kind of just like, all right, we're gonna make Mando take his helmet off this episode. How are we gonna do that? And it wasn't really all that important. I feel like if there was like a really cool way he took it off, or he did it to like, I don't know, in like the season finale. I don't know. I feel like there's probably a cooler way he would have. That could have been like him taking off his helmet. It felt like this way was just. It felt really forced, in my opinion.
You're just a big stickler for plot. Like you care a lot if things don't make sense, and I don't give a shit. You're always like,
Yeah, I don't
but there
know.
were so many cooler ways to do it. I'm like, yeah, but they didn't do it that way.
Okay, so you can't fault me for not liking it.
I'm not faulting you for not liking it, but you said it didn't matter. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, I mean, I guess it definitely
If you want
did
to say it
matter.
doesn't matter plot wise, I agree.
Fine, I'll
Because
say
like,
that, but
but what
I'll
didn't make
also
sense to
say
me.
the
Sorry,
way
go
that
ahead.
they made that the way that they made it matter to him was kind of stupid.
What, making it his religion to not take the helmet off?
No. The way that they made him and kind of like forced him to take off the helmet, I feel like could have been done better. I wish they did it differently.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't disagree, but I also what I thought was weird was like the actual the actual like science behind it, or like not the science, but like so like the thing is like you got to scan your face to get into the Empire computer, and I was like, okay, Bill Burr has to scan his face because he was in the Empire, so he can access it. But and I was thinking like if Mando does it, it wouldn't be able to work because he's not in the Empire, so why would his face be registered? That's what I thought was weird. Like, why is it like it needs a facial scan, but there's no like database of faces to access. It just needs a face. It doesn't matter whose
Yeah, it was
face it
kind of
is.
stupid. I feel
That's
like,
what I thought was weird.
yeah,
Which I
I
think
don't
like
know. Episode wasn't terrible though. It had its moments, and the action scenes were pretty cool. But yeah, like I said, I feel like plot wise, it was a little ran a little thin.
fair enough. I agree. But
Cool.
I'm Chad for me. Chad.
It's middle. Like if I was rating it, I'd give it like 2 stars.
That's bad.
Uh, I don't know. It's like kind of middle of the road, but probably leaning towards bad. So
All right. Wonder Woman.
yeah,
No spoilers.
no
And
spoiler section.
yeah, you can skip to the spoilers section in the description.
Mhm.
I've never said that before, but now I am.
Cool.
Tommy, what did you think of this movie?
That was all right. I think part of it was there was so much hype built around it because like so many people I knew was like, this movie's great, like it's phenomenal. They did it so well, and I was kind of going in expecting to like not be amazed, but be like, yeah, it was definitely better. But I don't know. I didn't really wasn't wowed by it. There were some moments where I was like, okay, I definitely like that. I did think it was a little long. Like I remember looking, it was like 53 minutes before they got out of what was it called? The Mesquite
Themyscira.
place. Yeah,
Themyscira.
Mascara. Um, and I felt like that was a little long. At least the intro was. And then I looked at the clock, and there was still like an hour 30 left, or
Mm-hmm.
hour 40, and I'm like, oh boy. Um, and I don't know. I like that they based it in World War II,
One.
but I don't know. I'd probably like to be convinced. I want to hear what you thought about it, so maybe I can change my mind.
Um, I like this movie. So I think this movie has one glaring big problem, and that
Yeah,
is the final 30 minutes are just really generic.
really.
And
That's actually
mhm.
crazy because I didn't write a box review, but I was actually going to say, if I did write one, I was going to say that I didn't really care for the whole movie, but the last 30 minutes were pretty cool.
Oh my god. Well, it's like cool, but it's just like stuff we've seen before, you know? Oh my god, my
Yeah,
leg
that's
is
fair.
asleep and it like really hurts.
You can
Ooh.
stand up.
No, it's okay. Uh, um, but so what? It actually really hurts. Oh god, I can't stand
You're
up
okay.
though. That's gonna hurt more. Okay, I'm gonna try and focus. So, what I like about this movie a lot is Wonder Woman herself, and I really like Chris Pine as
That was the dude, the main dude,
yeah, Steve
Steve
Trevor.
Trevor.
Yeah. I think they had really good chemistry. I think they were cute together, and I really bought it. Um, so when I first saw this movie, I was kind of like you. I was just kind of like, it's whatever, because it was getting crazy high reviews, and I was like, yeah, it'll, it was pretty good, but like didn't blow me away. But when I rewatch it, I like it more because I think there's just like a lot of humanity in this movie. Like it feels very much like a personal journey for Diana and for Steve. Um, and I think a lot of the like design of Themyscira is really cool, and the designs of like some of the major set pieces are really cool, and the
Yeah,
action
it
is
was a
really
pretty
fun.
movie. I will say that it was a
Yeah,
pretty movie.
and I think for the most part, DC movies tend to look less like gray than Marvel movies. And that's not even necessarily a fault on the Marvel movies, but I think a lot of times DC movies can be visually very striking in parts. Like there are some shots in this movie that are just so fucking nice. If I'm sure you remember the No Man's Land scene where she walks across No Man's Land. It's not a
Oh yeah,
spoiler,
yeah, yep. Yeah, I know.
which is just a super fucking cool scene. And
That was pretty cool.
the music in this movie is also just like absolutely banging. Like, you know the Wonder
Mhm.
Woman theme when it's like you like that, audience?
You should keep going. You should do the whole song.
Oh yeah. You know this one? um but the music's good and the action's good. My main criticism is like I'll have to get into it in spoilers more, but the main villain and kind of the storyline behind that I think is a little bit muddled. But I really like the stuff where Diana's like, discovering humanity and like, oh, what's ice cream? What's this? And it's like this fish out of water stuff, but it feels very just like natural, and I really like it.
Yeah, I agree. It felt pretty natural. Like I didn't feel like there were a few like moments where that there were like guys who were like, she can't do this. She's a woman. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes movies have those scenes, and I feel like it's right to have those scenes, but they come across as like unnatural,
First,
like
yeah.
very for yeah, exactly. But this movie, it was like really, really good because I don't know, it just felt like that was like all about her character, and
Well,
she
yeah.
was
There's
like,
a
what the hell's the deal? Like, why the fuck are you carrying
oh
a
yeah.
woman who's pretty sick?
There's a there's a pretty good cliche dodge, which is like they're about to cross no man's land, or they're like by no man's land, and she's like, "Oh, I have to get over there. I have to help those people." And Steve Trevor's like, "No, that's no man's land. It means no man can cross it." And I was like, "Oh boy, here we go." I was like, "She's gonna say I'm not a man or something." Or like, good thing I'm
Yeah,
not a man, but she didn't, and she just like went across, and it was like
yeah,
stuff
they
like
have some
that
really
really.
subtle stuff like that too that goes really well. Like they told, I forget what the exact line was, but it was like Steve Trevor and like his posse, they were like, it's like, no, you can't go alone. Like we don't know if like you'll be safe. And then something he said something, and then they were like, oh no no no, we know she's gonna be fine, but like you were the one that we're worried about.
Yeah, and I like that she's like they're like she tries to go into like the boardroom for like the meeting in
Yeah,
Britain, and Steve Trevor's like, no, you can't go in there, and she's like, why? And he's like, well, you're like a woman, and she's like, so like what the fuck does that have to do with anything?
mm.
Like I thought that stuff was cool because like she comes from a completely different culture, and I liked a lot of the Wonder Woman like lore stuff that they stuck into this. Like I really like how the lasso of truth, like Steve Trevor, the scene where he's like wrapped in the lasso of truth on Themyscira, and he's like struggling to lie, but he's like compelled to tell the truth. I thought that was really cool, and I thought they used stuff like the lasso really well, and her gauntlets and her armor and stuff was really cool.
Yeah, I agree.
And I just I really do like Gal Gadot in that role as Wonder Woman. Like it's a different Wonder Woman. She's not like super stoic and like you know like a lot of Wonder
No,
Woman
she fits it.
adaptations can
She
be.
fits the role.
hmm
Mhm.
Um, and like I don't know, there's just a lot of really nice moments, like that part where they're like dancing in the snow, and she's like seeing snow for the first time, and yeah, I don't know. I've grown to like this movie a lot more. I think because the stuff that really bothered me the first time like does not bother me as much this time, and I think for the most part, like even though I do agree that like the time we spent on Themyscira is like a little too long, it's still got some like cool world building and like you get a sense of how that society actually works. And
No, it really like develops her character a lot.
yeah, I'm a stickler for that kind of shit. And there's just so much cool shit, like when she jumps and she like she's like slowly discovering that she's like different from the other Amazons, so like she jumps into the wall and like punches a hole in it, and then like starts climbing by punching holes in the wall.
Yeah, that was really cool.
um yeah, and just like there's a bunch of stuff like that, Wonder Woman doing new cool things throughout the movie that like the audience didn't know she could do and she didn't know she could do. And I always like when a movie can strike that balance between like what's expected and what's not. Um, but yeah, I mean, this movie is like it's no different plot wise or structure wise than any other superhero movie. But I think what sets it apart is like this shit's fucking inspiring, man. Like
Mhm.
if you're like a young girl watching this, like this shit's got to be like
It's gotta be hype as fuck.
super. Yeah, no, right? Like it's like it's just got a good message, and she overcomes everything, and just like so rad. And the
Yeah, it's pretty
music,
rad.
and when she's like kicking ass, like you feel like every hit she like does. Like there's that part where she like breaks into a warehouse and she like kicks is like kicking dudes and punching dudes, and you're just like, ooh, I could tell that fucking that hurt.
Hmm.
Like I just think it does a good job of like putting you there,
Yeah,
and
they do a good. I would say they also do a good job because in some superhero movies they like in the beginning they make it out so that the superhero seems like so overpowered and just like kind of like nobody can even match it. But then in
mm-hmm.
like one of the final fights or whatever, they just like can't do anything. But
Yeah,
in this fight, she didn't really seem like super overpowered. She just seemed like just a much better fighter than everybody else.
mm-hmm.
And in the final fight, she she struggled, but I wouldn't say she was like it just didn't feel like some other superhero movies that go that route. If you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Where it's like they go through the entire movie and they're just like wasting dudes, and then like
Mhm.
the final villain is like somehow too much for them.
Yeah,
Like I think of Spider-Man 2, even though I love that movie. Like Doc Ock, once you hit him in the face, he's just a normal dude. Like he's not enhanced at all. So as soon as Spider-Man punches him in the face, he should just be out because like he's a normal guy. He's just got robot arms. So once he gets past those and punches him, he should just be knocked out.
yeah, exactly.
But since the movie has to happen, he has to struggle, which is fine. That's a
Mhm.
nitpick, a very very big nitpick. But like,
Yeah, and also it makes sense why she struggles against the final villain because do you want to get in the spoiler section?
yeah. So Chad for me.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of in the middle. Mm, I think I like this movie more than I didn't like it, but there are some things that I just wish. Like I think if it was shorter,
Mm-hmm.
that's really it. If it was shorter, then I feel like I would say it's a Chad.
Fair enough.
But I'm in the middle. But anyways, the final villain is literally the God of War. Um,
Yeah. Spoilers now.
it's
Uh,
Kratos
it is Kratos.
from God of War.
uh, yeah. So Professor Lupin is the final villain for.
Yeah. Oh, that's what his name was. Lupin. Yeah. I
uh,
was thinking that. I'm like, that's the guy from Harry Potter.
and so yeah. So kind of my problem with this movie is like it kind of wants to have its cake and eat it too, where at the end of the movie she kills who she thinks is Ares, and
Mhm.
um, you know, the war still happens, and she kind of like backs up and is like, "What the fuck? Why is it still happening? I killed the guy." And Steve's like, "Oh, maybe people are just like that." And I think if that was like the actual like kind of final climactic bit to the movie, and that was like the lesson she had to take, that would have been like a really cool way to end the movie, where she just has to realize that people are corrupt by nature, and it's not like some big mystical being doing it. Um, but
That's a good
if
point.
you if you go that route, then you risk pissing off like the comic book fans who want to see actual Ares, you know, because that's a Wonder Woman villain, you know. So they bring in Ares actually, and they kind of try to have it both ways, where like he is influencing them, but he's not like directly causing everything. And it's just that's what falls flat for me the most, is that Ares like I think you have to commit to either Ares is doing it or Ares is not doing it, and
No,
they
that's
kind of
fair.
take mid route that doesn't super work for me.
I will also say that the reveal of like the twist that Professor I have no idea what his name was, so I'm just gonna call him Professor Lupin. The
Yeah, let's
twist
call him
that it was
Ares.
him kind of it literally came out of nowhere. And like there was no like usually when there's like
Yeah.
good twists, there's like some sort of indication behind.
Well, when you go
Um
back and watch it,
like
you can notice he's like kind of really wishy washy about the war, and he like doesn't want to do anything that would actually end it. Like he keeps being like, "Oh no, no, do this."
that's fair. That's fair. Um yeah, I guess I don't know. Of course this movie is brought up again, but like the best twist I think of is Parasite, which I'm not going to spoil it, but like
Yeah.
rewatching it, you like notice things that you're like, holy shit, I can't believe I didn't
Yeah,
see
yeah.
that before.
Hmm.
Um, but I don't know. I just who knows? Maybe I'll have to watch it again.
I also think it's a weird casting for Ares.
Yeah,
He's kind of
yeah,
like
I
a
agree.
he's kind of like a small sheepish man. And they're like he's the god of war and he's like, "Is he though?"
Yeah, like he's I don't know. I imagine the God of War would be like pretty fucking badass, but this guy
Yeah,
can like
right.
he has a mustache and
Hmm.
he's kind of scrawny.
I do like the secondary villain though, Doctor Poison.
Doctor Poison.
Do you remember
Yeah, she was.
she had like that thing on her mouth,
Yeah,
like
that was
that
kind of
ceramic thing?
off-putting, but I definitely thought it was cool.
Yeah, and like I what I so this is the kind of stuff I really like about this movie is like Chris Pine. I keep switching between calling him Steve Trevor or Chris Pine, but same guy. So Chris Pine like goes into the thing and he's trying to like spy because that's what he does. He's a spy and he like it's cool to see him like turn on the German accent and like the way he talks to try and get information from this lady and he's like trying to kind of seduce her to make it. I think I just like stuff like that. And I like when we see that mixed with like more traditional superhero stuff.
Hmm.
And then there's that like what I meant when there's just like great imagery is the part where like Wonder Woman sneaks um into the party or whatever and she like steals a woman's dress and the first time you see her like in the dress you see her from the back and the sword is like
The sword.
sticking out of the top of it. It's cool. I really like that image a lot. And kind of going back to what I was talking about earlier, like the no man's land scene, it's just like one of those scenes where it's like, especially when I saw it in the theater, where it was just like the music and like the gunshots and everything was just like super impactful. And she's doing like cool shit where she's like taking her shield and like batting entire missiles away and stuff. And she's not like that scene isn't like she's not fighting anyone really, but she's like just her crossing it. Like it's really refreshing to me when superheroes do new action pieces that aren't just like, hey, let's throw a bunch of bad guys at the main character and watch them like waste them. Like I like seeing superheroes struggle with stuff like saving a person from a burning building or like you know, saving people in other ways that aren't just like, hey, I'm getting mugged by 50 guys, you know.
Yeah,
So that's why I love the sequence in Spider-Man 2 where he stops the train because it's equally tension building as if he was just fighting regular guys, but it's just new. So that's how I
I
felt
agree.
about this no man's land scene.
Um, yeah, I think another part that I thought was cool, like, because after the reveal of Ares, I felt like his, even though I didn't really get why it was him, thought it was cool when he did reveal himself because he kind of like, even though he didn't like look the part, he was pretty badass. Like she like sticks the hand like
Oh
to him,
yeah, and he
and
like
he puts his hand out, and it just like the sword just like
disintegrates.
goes away, and it was
Mm-hmm.
like holy shit, that was tight. And then she's like yelling at him and like telling him she's asking him things, and then she doesn't believe him, so she puts the lasso of truth, and then he's just like, "Nope, I was telling the truth the whole time."
Yeah.
And it was like, "Oh shit, we're in for something right now."
uh, yeah. No, I like that. I don't hate him as Ares. I just felt like it was kind of an odd thing when he puts the armor on and everything.
Yeah,
That's
that's
all.
fair.
But I
And then
didn't care
also
that much.
Steve Trevor dies.
Oh yeah, Steve Trevor does die. Um,
That kind of sucked.
it's a good sacrifice though. I felt like you know the part where like you see him talking to Diana, but she can't understand what he's saying. You know, and then he
Yeah,
like runs
because
away, and then you see it
she like
again
went deaf
later.
for a second.
Yeah, and then you see it again later, and it says what he actually says to her. It's good stuff.
Hmm.
I love stuff like that. You know,
I also did like that stuff.
and then he blows up the plane, and it's a sad ending to the
Oh
movie.
yeah,
But
what was the exact reason? Not my like is asleep. Um, what was the exact reason why he blew up the plane?
yeah, so they were taking that like new experimental gas, like that new gas that would like totally kill everyone through their gas masks, and
Hmm.
they were transporting it, and he just jumped on the plane without like, a parachute or anything. But by the
So
time he
wait,
like,
why didn't he just use a parachute?
huh? There
Why
was
didn't
no
he just use a
parachute.
parachute? Oh, okay.
But so, and then he had to blow it up in the sky because it was like otherwise he'd kill everyone on the ground. So
That's pretty cool.
yeah, I mean, and I like that sacrifice a lot, and I'm excited to see kind of what they do with that in the sequel, which by the way is getting pretty positive reviews so far.
Coming out soon.
Yep, sitting at like a 90% on Rotten Tomatoes right now. I think
It's not bad.
that's actually quite good.
Yeah.
Right? It's not bad, but
Yeah, no, so I was right. It is not bad.
that's true. You are right, Tommy. Um, yeah, I like this movie. I think it doesn't break any new ground, but in terms of like as a movie about Wonder Woman and as like the first female superhero movie that's passable, you know, not Catwoman or or anything like that. Like the only other one we've had since then is Captain Marvel and Birds of Prey. Um, so
There
I
are
think
really
this
no
was
others?
there are others, but like I said, they're all like awful. Like there's Elektra and Catwoman and Supergirl, but they're just like literally some of the worst movies ever made.
Hmm.
We could do one for a podcast one time to do like a really shitty movie, like if we did the Halle Berry Catwoman movie.
We could do it on International Women's Day.
Good plan, Tommy.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, so I definitely I like this movie a lot. It was the first like good DC movie after they hit that extreme lull with Batman versus Superman and Suicide Squad and Justice League. And
Mhm.
then we had this and we were like, oh, there's hope. And now we're kind of at a position where DC movies are kind of back. And, you know, you don't really have to worry about them being terrible anymore. But there was a long time there where it was like a DC movie would come out and you would just get sad. Well, not you, but me. I would get sad because I would feel like this is going to get slammed. And it did. And it was bad.
Mhm.
But then we had Wonder Woman and we had Aquaman and Shazam and Joker, which I know you don't like, but a lot of people like, and Birds of Prey, and now Wonder Woman 84. And it's like, thank God DC has kind of learned their lesson and come back in that direction. Anyway, that's my stupid ass fanboy rant.
Yeah. All in all, I thought it was a fine movie.
Mm. I also think it's fine, but I have grown to really like Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. So I think that
I also really like her as Gal Gadot. I really like Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman too.
yeah, uh, great stuff.
Yeah.
What you been watching, Tommy?
So I saw a movie today that I really liked. I haven't seen many 2020 movies, but I think this is the highest rated 2020 movie I have so far. It
Nice.
is what's it called? Uh, the Trial of the Chicago Seven, I think.
Mm-hmm. I saw
Um,
Sacha Baron Cohen is in it, which I didn't know.
yeah, he's in it, and it's actually cool because in movies like that, um, or in movies where like there's a comedic actor, um, but they're doing like a newish role, you kind of expect them to kind of like flip the script and like be very serious, but he still like very much keeps a very funny role in it. And there's actually a lot of funny parts too, despite being a more like serious movie. And
Yeah.
I really liked it. If you don't like movies that kind of take place in the courtroom, then I would not say watch it. But there's also a lot of stuff too that happened in the movie. At times it felt a little bit like a Spike Lee movie, just because they had moments where they like flashbacked or like cut actual scenes from the movie to like
Real
video
life.
footage in real life, and that
Yeah,
was really cool.
that is
Um,
cool.
but yeah, I thought it was really great. They had a few moments that I guess weren't accurate to what happened in the real case, but
Hmm.
I don't know. I liked it. I definitely enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a stickler for historical accuracy. Like, I know Social Network probably didn't all happen like that, but it's just a good movie, and it's good that most
Yeah,
of it is.
exactly. That's kind of how I felt about this.
Yeah. Uh, I think I only watched Home Alone. I mean, I've been watching Clone Wars, but This is my finals week, and
What season are you
I'm
on
really
in
busy.
Clone Wars?
Just about to finish season 2.
Okay.
So hopefully it's just about to get good. I've heard. I'm finally through like the stuff that people say is not as good. So, but I do like it. It's a fun show.
Oh, and then I also started watching today #Alive, which is like this zombie movie. And I will say it is incredibly slow.
Yeah.
I've been watching for maybe like 40 or 50 minutes, and it feels like I've watched already like an hour and a half.
Is it 2020 movie?
Yeah, it's 2020. It's a South Korean movie. It's like a zombie movie.
Oh, okay.
It's just very slow.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I literally just watched Home Alone in that, so
And
hopefully
you got
this
a
week
PS5.
I did get a PS5.
Mm-hmm.
Not supposed to say that though, but my dad's not gonna listen to podcasts, so
Okay.
I did get a PS5. That was pretty cool. Yeah, it doesn't feel real.
What's the first
It
game
doesn't.
you're gonna get from it?
I don't know. I think I'm gonna use the PlayStation like Pass thing, like the Game Pass thing for PlayStation, and I'm gonna play God of
PlayStation
War.
Plus or PS Now?
PlayStation Plus. PS Now is hot fucking garbage.
I thought that was PlayStation's like.
It is, but it's such ass because you have to stream the games over the internet.
Yeah, my internet connection is hot garbage, so
Yeah, so that
that's
would
why
not
I'm
work.
kind of leaning towards Xbox.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll end up getting both. Who fucking knows? But yeah, probably next week I'll start watching actual movies and shows and shit again because it's just I've been so busy this week with finals and.
Are you done on Friday?
Yep.
Cool.
All right. Well, thank you for listening, everybody.
Yeah.
Follow us.
Follow us on social media.
I wonder who may watch this podcast next. If it'll be a woman or not.
What? Oh, okay. I get it. Isn't it the one after this one?
What?
Or isn't it the one after next one?
Yeah. Next week, Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we should decide what movie we're going to do. Anyway, goodbye, everyone.